Now, if this game's any indication of the shape that Graham Potter wants to work with going forward and the personnel that he wants to use going forward, I really do think we have a lot of things to consider, because that, I guess basically what we saw today was a 3-4-1-2 with Mason Mount playing as a number 10 off of the likes of Havertz and of course Aubameyang. I don't think you can effectively play with Havertz and Aubameyang as the attackers, the forwards, just because the two of them want to occupy the same areas on the pitch. The two of them aren't very busy in terms of their movement off the ball, getting into the areas, coming deep and collecting and whatnot. So what you have is two attackers that are very static in the final third, and most of the legwork and stuff like that was left to the likes of Mason Mount. Whereas what we've seen in the past on the Graham Potter, we played with the two number 10s supporting the striker, and we'd have a midfield basically four with two 10s, two 6s, and then of course our wingback, our left and right wing backs getting forward to provide the width. And I just feel like that gave Chelsea more of an ability to control the areas of the pitch where you want to be effective, where you want to have the game under control. And today was just a perfect example. When you play this 3-4-1-2 with Mason Mount as the number 10, as much as Mason Mount was very much influential himself in his role as the number 10 in the free role, it just didn't give Chelsea enough control in that area of the pitch to, really impact it in the correct way. The other aspect of this 3-4-1-2 that I just don't like, it just doesn't involve enough people in the build-up. It doesn't involve the likes of Aubameyang. It doesn't involve the likes of Kai Havertz in the build-up. And for the likes of Kai Havertz, who doesn't necessarily play well with his back to goal, he has to come deep and basically build from there. He's not very good at playing his back to goal. So when he's playing, when the ball's coming into him from, our midfield and whatnot, and he has his back to goal, it's usually just going right back to the midfielders again, because he doesn't have the ability to do anything other than either, play it off, lay it off, or, in some instances when he's in that position, his first touch just lets him down because he's under so much pressure. So it doesn't really play to his strengths either, which is, get the ball, survey the pitch, running at teams rather than having his back to goal and, hoping for an opportunity to get on the half turn and whatnot. I thought Mason Mount was excellent in this regard, getting on the half turn, receiving the ball with his back to goal and getting on the half turn and getting into the final third as a result from there. But I haven't seen enough of that from Kai Havertz to suggest that this is a part of his game that he's adept at and capable of using to break, the final line of a press or, a really aggressive defense. In the case of Aubameyang, he just wasn't getting enough touches. Even if it meant coming deep to collect the ball and whatnot, as much as he did that every now and then, it wasn't enough to effectively find himself in the match. And, again, he just found himself just being lost. When your strikers are not being serviced the ball enough and they're not, being involved in the build-up enough, the end result's there for you to behold. You're just seeing guys that are, on their back heels when opportunities do come to them, and they're just not necessarily into the game. And I really feel like Chelsea need to work on playing more direct balls into our strikers, even if it means just for them to get a touch on the ball and then lay it off to one of our midfielders and one of our advancing midfielders. I think we need to be working on that a little bit more. I saw a bit of that against Milan with Aubameyang collecting and laying it off. Saw a bit of that against Crystal Palace as well, but for whatever reason this match we just did not have enough of that, direct passes into our strikers to allow for them to just get some touches, get into the rhythm and the flow of the game. And as a result, we just had a toothless attack.